Hello, everyone. Today is Wednesday, August 16th, 2023 at 4:32 a.m. Well, it just turned 4:33. Um, it was just like right at that second. Well, yesterday evening, I was so like yesterday evening, I was so tired from the yesterday evening I was so tired from you know, tired and sleep deprived because the night before, I think I went to bed at, I don't remember, but I think I went to bed and it was after, um, I went to bed and it was after midnight or somewhere around midnight. Was it? Or was it 10 o'clock? I don't remember. I don't remember if it was 10 o'clock or midnight. But then I went to, I was awakened, startled out my sleep because of the gang stalking noise harassment. And then, um, I was startled out of my sleep because of the gang stalking noise harassment. And then, what? I went to the store and got me some breakfast to eat. And like around 8 o'clock, it was actually after 8:15. And then after that, I had two breakfast burritos. I mean, not burritos. I meant to say two breakfast tacos. I had two, excuse me, I had two breakfast tacos and also some peanut butter flavored grandma cookies. So I had those, and I also had some lemonade. And that was considered my breakfast. It's like as if I had some, cookies for dessert, right after breakfast. I don't normally do that, but, I did yesterday. So then, um, kind of forgot everything I did yesterday. But I felt fine and really didn't have any naps during the day or nothing. And I was waiting around for that. I mean, I made a call, and I was waiting around for that phone call, and the lady called me back. Um, After the video where I went outside, it was like I was outside for over 20 minutes trying to dry my dress off. My hair, it feels much softer. It doesn't feel like how it normally feels or like how it should or like how it's supposed to feel, but it feels a lot softer. I had the mixture of like coconut and castor oil and some bentonite clay and some baking soda and apple cider vinegar and a little bit of Himalayan pink salt. I made that mixture before I left Cincinnati and was trying to use it on the warts on my hands. And the mixture got rid of one wart, but it seemed like as if more new warts are trying to grow on my fingers. It's frustrating because it's like every time I succeed at getting rid of one wart, then another wart or some more warts trying to come. It's humiliating and embarrassing. Excuse me. So, so then after that, It was about 12 something. It was after 12:30. I took out the scallops to thaw out. Like, they didn't have the cheaper fish that I was looking for. I forgot what fish I was trying to look for, but but I got me some scallops. That's like my second time cooking with scallops. Because the last time I did was like, it was Valentine's. I wasn't doing anything special, but like, it was Valentine's Day, but I still spent it by myself and I didn't have any plan. But on that day, I had cooked some scallops with angel hair pasta. They got all these loud trucks. I had scallops and angel hair pasta. And excuse me. I had scallops and angel hair pasta and what else? And I had some kind of I don't remember if I had some cheese in it, but I definitely had excuse me, some I definitely had some help. Some butternut squash pasta sauce that I got from the salvage store in Harahan or Elmwood or something, part of New Orleans, in 2018. Yeah, it was like I think it was called Dave's. It was like the best pasta sauce I ever had. So it's like, excuse me, it was like some butternut squash pasta sauce. It was so good, And I also had some peppers, like some red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. Or was it just red? I don't remember. I think it was red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. But and I don't remember. I don't remember if I had green. But I put a lot of different bell peppers in it. But you know what? I find that orange and red bell peppers help me sleep. But the yellow and green bell peppers don't really help me sleep that much. But it wasn't until I got to Pensacola. I'm sorry, not Pensacola. Los Angeles, California was when I heard of purple bell peppers. And those are like purple sweet potatoes, purple carrots, and purple bell peppers. I never heard of those until I got to Los Angeles, So anyway, that day, I don't remember what, I know I used some peppers and some other vegetables. I don't remember what I put in it, but it tasted so good, and I had enough to last me a long time, and it helped me sleep well and everything. So anyway, yeah, that's like steak, I don't get to have steak or lobster that much or that often. Let me put my earbuds in because they got too many loud cars. It's not even 5 o'clock in the morning. They got high traffic. That's backwards. Hold up, y'all. So let me try to turn the volume down some. So yeah, like when I did the video yesterday, when I was outside trying to dry off, it was like almost immediately after I came back inside and settled down, that's when she called me. And I fought tooth and nail to try to accept that call. And I'm glad I was able to accept the call because they were trying to freeze my phone. They were trying to freeze my phone, and they were trying to freeze my phone so I couldn't accept the call right away. And when I say they, I'm talking about the gang Stalking network. They were trying to sabotage that call and trying to set me up and manipulate for the phone to freeze, and they were trying to get me to accidentally hang up the phone and reject the call again. But they were trying to do that. But I'm glad I was able to accept the call. I mean, so I accepted the call, and she told me about how my name came up on a list after over 4 years. Excuse me. And I already told y'all. I already told y'all basically. What the details were. So then, after that, I uploaded the videos, and I think it was 4:30 or something. I started to try to cook, and my green beans. Well, they weren't green. I don't know what's the difference between green beans and French beans, but the French beans that I had, the fresh French beans, they were all bad. They went bad, and the cilantro went bad, and I had to throw the whole bag of French beans and the whole thing of cilantro away. And the rest of the radishes, they went bad, and I had to throw them away. And I might have to throw some more produce away, feeling bad, But I don't know if the banana and other 2 plums are still good enough for me to be able to, utilize them. So the celery was still fresh, and the sweet peppers were fresh. I didn't have any more yellow ones, so all I had was orange and red, And they didn't have that many yellow ones in the pack. So I had like some garlic, sweet peppers, miniature sweet peppers, and garlic, miniature sweet peppers, and celery, and the scallops, and I also had the teriyaki flavored coconut aminos I put in there. And it flavor wise, I mean, it may not have looked the best, but of course I explained to y'all I was sleep deprived. So, I mean, I don't know how I was sleep deprived if I thought I had significant sleep the night before, or maybe a nap the day before that, or something like that. So I kind of don't remember how much sleep I had on Monday, but so I mean, I didn't get to, my food didn't come out the way I wanted to because I was sleep deprived, and I didn't the sweet potatoes, I was just so sleep deprived that I just threw them on a pot and started boiling them. I had to boil them for for at least an hour or something like that. At least an hour I had to boil them. And I didn't even peel them, I just said, well, I'll just boil them and then eat whatever's inside and then throw the skin away. So they had like those roots or whatever sticking out. Not like the regular potato, but they had those long strands, those long things of fibers or whatever sticking out. So I just had nothing but butter on the, I wanted butter and honey, but me calling myself feeling all scared about, the sugar intake or whatever. But I had some butter, and I had some of the Gold Belly probiotic drink. I drunk that up before it would go bad. And no, it wasn't Gold Belly, it was Good Belly. Good Belly. I get those mixed up. Good Belly probiotic drink. Good Belly probiotic drink. And then So it was Good Belly probiotic drink, and also I had the last of those sunflower seed cookies. And that was all I ate yesterday. I didn't even have lunch in between. And so then, like, in the middle of cooking, I was boiling the sweet potatoes and I was standing over the counter trying to fight sleep. And the sleep feeling, like the feeling to need to sleep, it did not kick in until after I started cooking. But earlier, as far as being sleepy and drowsy and tired, I was fine. So, felt like when you're trying to cook while sleep deprived, felt like trying to drive a car while sleep deprived. It's a hard fight, torturing to try to stay awake. But I made it through. I almost was gonna turn off the little burner and forfeit the doggone cooking and then just try to go to sleep. But then how they trick my mind and manipulate me with the gang stalking sleep deprivation is, if I would be that dead tired and then go lay down, and I would be just laying down for hours and heavy pressure on my heart and just breathing hard and still can't sleep. So, I reevaluated, and it looked like as if, even though I had some Good Belly probiotic drink, and I also had some lemonade, and I had like 2 or 3 cups of water throughout the whole day, I must have been dehydrated for the day, or not had enough water to drink. So, it was almost 8 o'clock after I got done eating, and I came to try to lay down, and I was fighting sleep. And then I guess it was approximately 8:30, I gave in and dozed off and fell asleep. And then it was after 10 o'clock, I had got up to use the bathroom, and I put my phone on the charger. And it had the gang stalkers that waited till after I sat on the toilet to go pee. They waited till after I sat on the toilet to go pee to pass by blasting like thunder kind of loud music, like violent thunder kind of loud, like it was just as bad as thunder, like violent thunder kind of. It wasn't a thunder sound, but it was loud and hard, like a bad thunderstorm. They strategically waited for me to sit on a toilet and use the bathroom. And then they passed by blasting super loud bass music. And then, after that, I got up, and I was so startled that, it hurt my ears and gave me a headache and everything else. And I was startled and upset and traumatized and all that. Like usual, I was startled and upset, and then it took me a while, for me to calm down and get to fall back asleep and get me some more sleep. And then I had some intense dreams. And then I woke up. It was before 3:30 this morning that I woke up, and I had to use the bathroom. And I tried to go to sleep, and it felt like as if I had like extremely heavy pressure on my heart. And I wasn't sure if my heart felt slowed. I wasn't sure if my heart felt slowed or not. But I felt heavy pressure on my heart and try to get more sleep. it felt like as if a person has, like, if their blood pressure is really low, or if they're dying or something, or think they're dying or something, But I couldn't fall back asleep, but I felt dead tired. But then me feeling that way caused me to feel anxiety, you know. It caused me to feel anxiety, and then I guess that's when I woke up and checked my messages. But yeah, I mean, I drank some water and I'm feeling a little bit better. But this morning, I guess I'll have probably the 2 tacos. I'll have the 2 tacos this morning. And yeah. So, I mean, I might have the 2 tacos and maybe a pear. And I'm not sure if the pears are ripe. If the pears that I have are ripe, because it was a bag of unripe or underripe pears and a bag of avocados that weren't ripe, and the bananas weren't ripe. And I didn't have a plastic bag, but when I was at Aldi, I looked dead at some plastic bags. I'm sorry, brown paper bags. And I forgot, me being homeless so long, I forgot that, me being homeless for so long, I forgot that, I forgot that you're supposed to put, like an apple and an avocado or a banana and an apple in the same bag, or a banana and pear in the same bag, in order for things to ripen up faster. So they be having stuff I either didn't know or that I forgot or something like that, But I guess I'll have more scallops and sweet potato for dinner, But if I'm hungry in between, I guess I'll have the last pack of noodles for lunch. Maybe, I don't know, the last pack of noodles and maybe some pork and beans. But, but yesterday they had a man who came and made a comment, an abusive, narcissistic, know-it-all, a cerebral narcissist, gang stalking, fake comment on my channel. I mean, it sounded like as if he was trying to make it like it was a stupid idea for me to ask for help, and then try to make it like as if I'll be waiting around begging forever. And, he tried to make it like as if it was stupid and foolish for me to try to get help with trying to get back to Pensacola and get me a new place. But then he tried to say, oh, I work in housing. I'm like, shut the fuck up, because you were a perp sent to lie and say that you work in a housing authority or something. But he's made a comment that would have been manipulative enough to to manipulate people to not want to support and help me. But I'm the negative one, though. I'm the one full of negativity. So he tried to make a comment trying to sabotage me trying to get help. And gang stalkers, they lie and say anything. So I'm like, how did you find my videos so fast? And you haven't even been subscribed to me. You haven't been you haven't been subscribed to me, and you haven't followed me. I mean, you haven't been following me or subscribed to me. It's like, how you found my video so fast? I had just uploaded it. Excuse me. How you found my video so fast? The Gang Stalking Network sent you. That's what that was. So then you make a comment lying and saying that you work in housing, and then try to give like a manipulative, and then, they try to be like, oh, I know this hurts, but I'm here to tell you the truth. Like, get your fake ass off. Like, go somewhere. I know this hurts, or I know this sounds like something you don't. Narcissistic abusers always say that. He seemed like with that one paragraph, he seemed like, I knew he was a narcissistic abuser by all the stuff he was saying in that one paragraph. And try to say, I know this hurts, or I know you're not going to like this, but, or, oh, I'm here to tell you the truth, or I'm sorry if this, like, go somewhere. So, but if I can't get, the help to get down there, or I'm not going to say down. If I can't get the help to get over there, then I would have to stay here, and I won't be able to get. I would still have to pay on that storage unit $130, almost $130 a month. It's like $126 or something a month, But they saying that all I have to pay is electricity, and the rent is $215. And then I can get rid of my storage unit. All I can pay is rent, electricity, and phone, and that be the only 3 bills I have to pay. But then, they as I said, it wasn't until I got here, now they're attacking my Social Security. And that lady that sent for me to come down here, she ghosted me that night. Like, once I settled in, she ghosted me. But she claimed to be Christian and targeted. And then she said something like, oh, hopefully we will meet someday. Well, I gave her at least 3 months to talk to me. So if she found out that I blocked her, then she can't say that, oh, I tried to help her and she blocked me. Don't try to play like you're the victim, because you did me dirty. But, wow, that would be a great 40th birthday gift to, finally get that housing opportunity that's about half of what I'm paying here. Well, actually, $215 is less than $540. But, when I had to pay for utilities, I like in New Orleans with Entergy, like my bill wasn't like, and I didn't even have that lie heap assistance. But I probably could apply for the lie heap assistance or something like that. So I'll be forgetting about lie heap. But when I was in Greenville, South Carolina, Duke Energy, everybody was complaining about how Duke Energy was getting over on people and taking everybody's money and making things more expensive and everything like that. I wanted to see what it was like to live in Pensacola, like with permanent housing. I didn't expect to be homeless for so many years. But it was a hard cycle to get out of, But it's like the rich white tourists or the rich Asian tourists or transplants, nobody complains about them and tell them, don't come here or we don't want you here. But when I got there, I was treated like nobody wanted me there, and they were mad at me saying that Pensacola was overcrowded and that they had too many people and that there was nothing there from Hurricane Michael, excuse me, in 2018. I didn't even, I didn't know that Hurricane Michael damaged Pensacola, and Panama City and all that. But I didn't even know what the agenda was. All I know is I was homeless already, fighting for my life, fled New Orleans, to go to Pensacola. And, they don't tell the rich tourists, the rich white and Asian tourists, or transplants, that, oh, there's nothing here, or we don't have room here, stop coming here. But I guess they don't want poor and homeless to be there. But I mean, there's an opportunity for me to go back and live there, but I'm sitting here feeling scared because, I mean, as I said, the Pensacola gang stalkers, after I was already in Cincinnati and even me living here, they seemed like as if they had unfinished business with me and wanted to harass me online. Harass me and sabotage me and try to get my videos wrongfully taken down or wrongfully striked. And they're a whole bunch of Satanists. But, as I said, if I have a permanent place, excuse me, I don't have to go downtown as much. I don't have to really eat at the restaurants downtown necessarily, But then I would hate that constant reminder that, oh, you're wrongfully banned from Everman for the rest of your life, or you're wrongfully banned from Bodacious, or banned from this place, banned from that place. But Shrimp Basket and Sonny's Barbecue, no matter what location I go to, they always perk me. They're supposedly local businesses, but they always perk me every time each and every time. They always perk me every time I try to eat at those places. But Sonny's Barbecue is pretty good, So, I mean, if I can get my stuff, get that new place and then get my storage unit, that could be more money in my pocket, and even though it might be probably under $700 left, or probably maybe about $500 of money for toiletries, transportation, laundry, and everything. Like living here, I would have like $200 left over for toiletries and certain other things that I need, and laundry and stuff like that. But they have that free transportation that's very hard to get, But yeah, it'll be odd to basically have nowhere to go. Like living here, having nowhere to go on Saturday, definitely on Saturdays and Sundays, stuck in your house with there's really nothing around here. And then it had been too hot to go anywhere, It had been too hot to go anywhere. So, like, the reason why I brought and then, like, people would get mad at me. They were mad at me. The abusive, narcissistic gang stalkers, they were mad at me for moving to Pensacola. As I said, I fled New Orleans fighting for my survival due to the gang stalking. I was homeless. And then they ran me out of Pensacola twice. And they didn't even the online gang stalkers and fake TI perps, they wanted to, the narcissistic control freak fake TI perps and the regular gang stalkers, they didn't even want me in, they tried to tell me, get out of Florida. Like, they didn't want me in Florida. Or they would try to manipulate, frighten, and scare me, saying that that Florida is going to flood over. So, I ended up in Cincinnati for 2 months. And then that lady I was telling y'all about, she sent for me to come down here. I had applied for housing in Cincinnati and tried to in Kentucky, but they said you had to have been like a Kentucky resident or have a Kentucky address. But no, I had a Cincinnati, Ohio address. Only for 2 months, but I was trying to get a job out there, and they wait until 5 months after February. They wait till July to start sending me job offers. I'm like, yeah, whatever happened to all these hundreds of jobs y'all said was hiring immediately? Y'all lied and said y'all were hiring immediately. There was a couple of airport jobs that they were supposedly hiring immediately. But that clear job at the airport in Kentucky, I couldn't, I had to turn that job opportunity down because, as I said, I didn't want to be desensitized to the mark of the beast. And the online gang stalkers got mad at me for that. They got mad at me about that. So, if I can get a permanent place to live in Pensacola, I wish I could get help with a laptop and get like a work at home job opportunity. That's what I've been wanting for years. And I had a laptop in Los Angeles, and it wasn't until 2015, 16, 17, 18 was when I finally found out that there are legit jobs. Because even in 2007, I was trying to figure out how could I get a work at home job or work from home. And that people were on Yahoo Answers used to make it like that's such a silly idea for me to try to see about a work at home or work from home job, and saying that they were all scams. But in 2018, after their workplace mobbed me off the zoo job in my hometown, New Orleans, excuse me, and shortly before I became homeless, they ended up, Next Rep rejected my job application. There was another work at home company. They rejected my job application. And I don't have a car, but I thought that you can do certain like Uber Eats or Grubhub or something on a bike. But in Pensacola, I'm wrongfully banned from so many places or so many restaurants and all that, I couldn't even do, even if I had a car, I couldn't even do DoorDash, Grubhub, or none of that. And I heard that in places like that, you don't even make that much money. I heard that you gotta be in like real big cities like Miami or Chicago or something like that, or Los Angeles. And in New Orleans in 2017, when people driving for Uber, DoorDash, and all that, they said there was too many people driving for Uber and it was too much competition and nobody was really making any money. And they said the same thing with Airbnb. But Airbnb is usually a trap and be more expensive than regular hotels and motels. But a lot of cab drivers are mad because of Uber taking over, but here you cab drivers gang stalk harder and more and worse than regular Uber drivers. Yeah, it'd be the local cab companies that gang stalk worse than your Uber driver, because sometimes there might be an Uber driver that's not a perp or that doesn't act like a perp. But I've had, my share of having, and I have gang stalker proof of that, of Uber drivers being an obvious gang stalker. Like, how the fuck you drive around with one head, like, at night, day or night? You're not supposed to do that. Y'all talking about me breaking the law. But y'all proudly flaunt off, gang stalking satanic activities, and then you'd be self-righteous about nitpicking and pointing out what you think another person is doing wrong to cover up your own dirty, wicked deeds, your own crimes. But, now, what was going on in Maui and Lahaina, I heard that Mountain Dew, like right when this disaster happened, I heard Mountain Dew released like a Maui Burst flavor or something like that. Like, what a fucking mockery. I would not even, I always hated Mountain Dew anyway. Never liked Mountain Dew. I couldn't stand Mountain Dew and still stay away from Mountain Dew. But one time they had a Mountain Dew Cold Red and Blue Pepsi, but I didn't know any better back then. But Mountain Dew Cold Red, I didn't even know all these agendas back then. It was like 2002, 3, 4, around the time when they had the Sprite remixes and all that. I don't even drink Sprite no more. I don't drink sodas anymore. But every now and then, I love a ginger beer, but that be all natural. But, like, I kind of don't even remember when the last time I had soda, but, like, carbonated soda. But sometimes I might have, like, excuse me, on rare occasions, like some blue Powerade or some lemonade or fruit punch or something, But yeah, Mountain Dew Cold Red was a little bit good, but still didn't like Mountain Dew. But, yeah, I didn't like Mountain Dew. But, yeah, I heard that they did a mockery of a Mountain Dew Maui Blast. I'm saying on behalf of the Hawaiian people, don't support or don't drink or buy that Mountain Dew Maui Blast, since they're using the Mountain Dew brand to mock the murders of the Lahaina disaster. So they were saying Mountain Dew, mockery of the directed energy weapons. Because I'm getting hit with directed energy weapons. And I don't remember if it was last night or yesterday or the day before that I think it was that they were vibrating me really bad. So people, I didn't even realize, like, I came across some videos yesterday on TikTok where people were saying, like, in May 2022, the locals and natives of Hawaii were saying that the water quality is bad, and that this is bad and that's bad, and that the locals are suffering, and they were begging for the rich tourists to stop coming there, stop vacationing there. And I don't know, it made me feel bad. It made me feel bad about But I was the only one singled out and told that due to the abuse of narcissistic gang stalking, they just didn't want me there in Pensacola. But Gulf Breeze is 30 minutes away from downtown Pensacola, like 20 or 30 minutes away from, no, I'll say about 25 minutes away from downtown Pensacola. And that's where the beach is, like 25 minutes away. So they have hood areas and bad areas in Pensacola. So y'all try to lie on me and say that I live in a luxury beach town where I can't afford. Well, y'all didn't say that when I was living in Los Angeles. But when I went to Los Angeles, they acted like they didn't want me there. You know, telling, and even in Greenville, South Carolina, when I was new, abusive narcissistic gang stalkers would tell me, you know, like they would tell me go back to New Orleans or go back to my hometown. Or when I, like Los Angeles, people were telling me go back to New Orleans by your family because we don't want you here. And when I was in Greenville, South Carolina, y'all say y'all Christian though, but you were telling me go back. Like when I came to Greenville, South Carolina, y'all said go back to Los Angeles. So then I went back to my hometown, New Orleans, and was not wanted in my own hometown. Excuse me. So, I mean, I didn't even know what was going on in Hawaii, you know. I didn't know that back in May 2022 that people were saying that the locals and natives were begging the tourists to stop vacationing there and stop trying to move there. And they were saying that, you know, y'all, you know, robbing us of our resources or whatever. So I wish I would have known back then about the FEMA thing with Hurricane Katrina. You know, and then ever since after they rebuilt, like New Orleans is one of the places where everybody trying to move to. Like everybody trying to come there. But then again, it's like high murder rate and it's always been that way. You know, but a lot of the rich tourists, you know, or the rich folks like to go there for voodoo reasons or witchcraft reasons. But that's where I was born and raised. But I don't even, like, I'm very ignorant of, and I stay away from anything that's voodoo or witchcraft related, you know. So they ran me out of my own Section 8 house twice in my hometown, New Orleans metro area. Forced me to, you know, made me to end up homeless. And I got frustrated to the point where, you know, I said I was not signing any more apartment leases. But I knew homelessness would be hard, but I didn't realize that I would be like wrongfully banned from everywhere. You know, and for it to be a struggle for you to get back on your feet. I mean, I was homeless since 2018. Since July 31st, 2018. And then, you know, all the way up until, like, if I stayed in hotels and motels, they don't call it permanent housing. So I might as well say that, yeah, I was still homeless because I didn't have a permanent home. But I was not homeless enough to get homeless assistance. Even if I, like in Cincinnati, for me to stay in an extended stay for like a week, for an extended stay hotel for a week, they made it like as if I was not homeless enough to receive resources and help. Like me staying here at this cabin, like I'm too homeless to be able to be eligible to rent a car, but not homeless enough to get like homeless resources and stuff like that. I was too homeless to get a doggone driver's license. You know, it was a very hard battle to try to, you know, for them to accept satisfactory proof of my place to live, you know. But this is month to month, and as I said, the gang stalkers, the online gang stalkers, was multiple of them that would make threats to call up the front office, and even before I started releasing and publicizing videos to where I live at, and after they started making those threats, I'm like, well, they already know where I live at, so that's when I started publicizing videos. And they still keep making those threats at making me back homeless on the streets. And now the new thing is making threats for me to die before my 40th birthday. So, after I drank me some water, it took a while, but I don't feel heavy pressure on my heart no more. I'm feeling back normal now. But I would hate, if I were to get to go back to Pensacola and get me that permanent place to live, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, aside from Greyhound bus, I'm wondering how can I get my belongings to bring on the bus. To bring on, like, if I'm approved to get to live at that place in Pensacola, So, I'm trying to act fast because they said they can't hold the place for long. So I'm trying to act fast to get some online help, to try to get online help. But, the gang stalkers, as I said, they don't want me to get help. But, as I said, I didn't realize that was part of the gang stalking, for them to, make you feel unsafe, make you feel unsafe and torture you out of your own home. So if I would have known that, if I would have known that this was gang stalking related, then in 2018, I would not have, and then they raised the price on my, rent too. And then they didn't want to lower the price on my rent when I notified the Section 8 people that I'm no longer working. They didn't want to do anything. So with paying like $592 or $600 a month, or was it $492 a month? I don't remember, but for me to pay that much when I was supposed to have paid like $150, $160 something a month. And then I had that part-time job. It's like the part-time job, like I had the part-time job working at the zoo, and I had the part-time job working at the zoo, and I had my Social Security. No, they took away the SSI, but I had the Social Security and the part-time job. And I was, even with paying $100, I was still financially struggling. And I was trying to get some full-time work, full-time employment, or even self-employment, and people were trying to block me, from doing my own thing or running my own business, or, So now, as I said, like, it's more than just Lahaina. Like, it seems like they're trying to burn the whole world up. And I didn't even know that there was a bad fire in Algeria and Greece and Italy and Canada, like the Northwest Territories of Canada, and multiple parts of the U.S. Like, they're burning the whole. These satanic New World Order psychopaths. They're deliberately and on purpose using directed energy weapons to burn the whole damn world up, to try to make way for the fake smart cities, the 15-minute New World Order, Sustainable Development, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030 smart cities. So I felt really bad, that the Hawaiian people were protesting, not like rallying and protesting, but they were begging for people to they were trying to say, well, you come here to Hawaii and to vacation here, then you are very selfish. They were saying that back in 2022. I didn't even realize that was such a crisis in Hawaii, But I think when I left Los Angeles to go to Greenville, South Carolina, and dealt with Lisa Ruby, there was a white man on a Greyhound bus. He was trying to convince me to go move to Hawaii. But I heard that I heard that just like Hollywood or whatever, I heard that it's a lot of poor and struggling people in Hawaii. That the island may be beautiful, but people are I heard people have been struggling real bad out there. So I heard that for the 15-minute smart cities, that they want to force people. I've been hearing about this for almost a decade, about how they want to force people into 15-minute smart cities and that's why they're gentrifying everything for the land grab and all that, so that they want to have like the FEMA camps, martial law, and they want to oh shikes, what is that? Hold up. Oh, what? Here we go. Wow. Now it disappeared. It looked like a spider or something. Can't find it now. Yeah. So if I couldn't get help to go, the financial donations and help to go to Pensacola and permanently settle there at, a cheaper place to live, then I'm going to end up stuck here and paying like twice as much, But it's easier. It was hard to get a job or find a job in Pensacola, but the opportunities, I had better chances of a job opportunity out there. But, it was still hard. But I need a job opportunity by myself, because I'm really sick and tired of the workplace mobbing or getting bullied off of every job. Or I probably could just continue writing, But they want to make sure that I'm blocked from any exposure or anything like that. Like the stuff I was just talking about, they hate me they hate any of us speaking the truth about all this. But I heard that they want to have us living in stackable apartments. And they want all the New World Order Corporation places with where you won't be able to travel or drive nowhere. And then they want these they set up 10 FEMA regions, and they have the North American Union, the African Union, the European Union. They're already called the European Union, the European Union, and they had that Brexit thing going on. They're freezing my phone, I think. They had that Brexit thing going on, and dang, when I was trying to kill the I was trying to kill the I was just trying to kill the spider, and I think a mist of some of the rubbing alcohol accidentally got in my mouth a little bit. But I'll probably be all right. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah. So yeah, I heard about how they're gonna eliminate cars and driving and travel, and you have to, be able to take. I mean, you have to be compliant with the mark of the beast in order. You have to be compliant with the mark of the beast in order and accept that new world order system. In order to be able to, I guess, to get to have a passport in your own country, to travel at different places in your own country. But like people are saying that they're saying do not sign papers, do not sign with FEMA, and they're refusing people to have the local help, but they only want government and FEMA help, or government and FEMA control disguised as help. That you can only accept help from FEMA, but a lot of people are saying to resist and do not comply. Yeah, so I mean, I didn't even realize. I feel heartbroken about Lahaina, Hawaii, or whatever. But they were saying they didn't want the rich folks there. But in Pensacola, they want to encourage the rich folks, but they shut down the poor people. Excuse me, because with the gentrification, they shut down. Like I witnessed this in Los Angeles. If they shut down a low income housing place just so that they can build a Starbucks there, like, that doesn't make any doggone sense. Like, for an affordable low income housing, you tear it down just so you can build a Starbucks. You don't need Starbucks to live. But Starbucks is an Illuminati New World Order company. Starbucks is an Illuminati New World Order company. So, yeah. Dang, because I know that people try to say, some people say that government assistance is a poverty trap. But look, I got no choice. They won't allow me to be independent or work or anything like that. But it seems like a lot of people fighting for their lives, and we don't know what city and state is going to be next. That, I guess they started this in June or July. Like, some people say the train derailments didn't work, so now they're doing fires with everything, with the land grab and stuff. But I'm hearing about cities and states I never heard of, and counties and parishes that I never heard of before. Let me see something. Okay. So, well, my hair feels a lot softer, and but it's not still not 100% the way it normally would feel. But I mean, I don't know why my scalp was burning yesterday. My scalp was burning, but I had the stuff in my hair for like 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and like my hair was all crusty and dry and hard and rough. You know, well, if I can use this mixture, I may not have to cut my hair, get it cut off or whatever. But my hair is starting to look somewhat back to look and feel halfway back to normal, the way it's supposed to feel. It doesn't feel cruddy and crusty no more, but you know. But it makes me want to cry tears of joy that for anybody to be supportive or spread the word or share or help me out, you know. But they got so many people, as I was trying to say yesterday, that so many people, they don't want peace with another person. They don't, excuse me, excuse me, they don't want peace with another person, or they don't want peace with other people. They want war. They want competition. And but when bad things happen, they blame God. Like what happened with Lahaina, excuse me, in Maui, Hawaii, or whatever. They they it's like that's during a time when we're supposed to be getting closer to God. But hard times like that is when people like, oh, what we went through for Hurricane Katrina, they will mock, they will mock, you know, or say that God can't be real or something like that. They'll say God doesn't exist, or God can't be real, or God wouldn't allow such horrible things to happen. Or they'll say, oh, your imaginary sky daddy, oh, your imaginary sky daddy is a psychopath. If he was a loving God, he wouldn't allow such and such. So they'll try to make it like as if God is a psychopath, that eternally angry psychopath that condones rape, murder, and slavery and all that. When that's not the truth. Excuse me. But they'll say, oh, you can be your own God, and then they start to do the witchcraft and new age and all that. Excuse me. So well, it seemed like my hair more than halfway detoxified. Like it feels kind of like as if it detoxified somewhat, but I should have kept it on longer. But I put a lot of stuff in my hair, and then it started dripping in my eyes and started burning my scalp. So I had to rinse, even though all those ingredients were all natural. But I don't know why it was burning my scalp. But I washed it with the soap that I showed y'all yesterday. The soap that I showed y'all yesterday, it doesn't leave like a soapy leftover residue like the other Castile soap that I had. The stuff from HEB. you know. So I mean, as I said, if I couldn't get help enough funds, excuse me, if I couldn't get enough funds to move over to if I couldn't get enough funds to move over to back to Pensacola, then I would end up staying here and having to pay so much more, you know. But I, like, in 2017 2017 I was financially struggling, you know. But even in 2017 and 18, I wanted to work and try to work my way to like independence and self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and to work with the Ticket to Work program to work my way to self-sufficiency and get off the Social Security and SSI program. It looked like that's the only way you can do it. But, you know, they keep workplace mobbing me and sabotaging whatever jobs I try to get due to me being blacklisted and targeted, you know. But I don't know how easy or how hard it is for them to evict you if you are in a permanent place to live, you know. If you are in a permanent place to live, I don't know how easy or how hard it is for you to get evicted. You know, if you got evicted from somewhere, you know. I mean, I'm interested if you got permanent housing. I don't know how easy or how hard it is for somebody to get evicted simply for exposing the gang stalking and harassment from neighbors. Like, it's easier for you to get kicked out of or banned from a place like this, or a hotel or a motel or an Airbnb. And the online gang stalkers were trying to make attempts at trying to have me wrongfully banned from riding Uber altogether. And then, like, yeah, we're going to go on the Facebook forums and show them who you are and, you know, get you banned from riding all the Uber in Pensacola. But y'all got me wrongfully banned from riding the buses. Well, the in-person gang stalkers did that. But I'm not banned anymore from riding the buses. But the bus drivers, they're abusive, and they give me a hard time. They're abusive bullies that give me a hard time. You know, and I've had to put certain bus drivers on film for the gang stalking, bullying, and harassment, and making me feel unsafe on the bus. And even the passengers, you know, try to make you feel unsafe on the bus. Like, they had a man that sexually assaulted me back in January, and he looked very similar to the guy who raped me, that Freemason who raped me back in 2012. Now, like, wow, right after the new year and the day I was supposed to start work, it was the day that day I was supposed to start work at that job opportunity, you know. So, you know, I'm praying that opportunity is open. So I'm praying, you know, to get help as soon as possible, as fast as possible. You know, I'm trying to get help with financial donations, you know, to get down there. To get over there. And, you know, if I have to make a trip over there for like a meeting or maybe a tour of the place and maybe some paperwork, and I may have to, I don't know how much the deposit would be, or if I would need help funds for a security deposit. You know, if I might need help with funds for a security deposit, maybe I forgot to ask them about the security deposit, but so if I could, I need help with like to travel over there, and then help for a security deposit, probably a security deposit, and then have to travel back over here to get my stuff and try to find a way to get my stuff here back to Pensacola, and then get all my stuff out of the storage unit in Pensacola. But the way that people don't want to help me, or they sabotage, or as I said, I could have done a TikTok live stream with at least 1,000 followers. I could have done a TikTok live stream, but the online gang stalkers, they would have wrongfully sabotaged the video for hate speech, and then if I try to appeal, then TikTok would refuse to accept the appeal, or they would reject the appeal, or something like that. But so as I said, it's that's a cheaper opportunity that came up, that I've been on the list since May 2019, before I even knew any of y'all gang stalkers. But I said that, I'll try my best to not let the gang stalking network, make me back homeless again. Since that's one of the goals, to make you homeless. And just like I would try my best to not let them make me attempt suicide ever again. Since that's supposed to be another one of the agendas. But when I have a permanent roof over my head, I usually stay home most of the time, even when I was living in Los Angeles. But I had moments where I would go to the library, or go to the beach, or go to the pool, or take a day trip and go to San Clemente or Oceanside. There was like 2 or 3 times I went to Riverside. Ooh, I almost didn't make the train one night. For Riverside, when I left Riverside to go back home to my place in Los Angeles. But Riverside, California, people drive so crazy over there. One time I went to Chatsworth, and rode through Laurel Canyon and took the Orange Line and the and I forgot what other bus that was. I took the Orange Line bus and rode through Laurel Canyon. One time I took a day trip and went to Van Nuys, and they had like a free museum, like a Japanese garden museum, and one time there are a few different places that I went, but sometimes I would try to just ride the transit bus just for like a mental clarity and a mental getaway, like, and I had that pass, the disabled, not the disabled tap card, it was the access card that I had, where you can ride up like all the way to Oceanside for free at no extra charge, and I could prepare a lunch at home and not have to spend any money and go all the way to Oceanside and go to the beach. And then when I would go to the beach at Oceanside, I just wanted different scenery. And so people would be like, well, why did you come over here? Why don't you go to the beaches in Los Angeles? Why don't go back to Los Angeles? Why did you come over here? We don't want you over here. So I'm like, well, what rule is there? You're younger than me. What rule is there that, I'm not allowed to go take a day trip to Oceanside? If I'm not allowed to take a day trip to Oceanside. Because, if I got tired of Venice Beach or Santa Monica or Playa del Rey, Long Beach, and I just wanted something different, want to see something different, And the further south you go, that's the cleaner the beaches are. Like Oceanside is beautiful and it's much cleaner than Venice Beach and Santa Monica and all that, And they have abusive, narcissistic, gang stalking lifeguards and at Venice Beach. I never had an issue with the lifeguards in Santa Monica ever, but I went to Malibu only once, and that was a long, hard day. You had to take the 534 and be on the bus for like 3 or 4 hours. It was a long, rough day, but I was disappointed because they had these big, huge rocks. And I think I remember the water, the ocean water, it stunk and it was dirty. And you didn't really have, I don't remember them having like a place to shower off at when I went to Malibu. But I felt like once and never again. But I think they had like a Laguna Mission Viejo. I'm not sure if that's the Laguna Beach or something, or is there a different Laguna Beach? But I mean, one time I took the 460 and I went to Disneyland, not to go and ride on the rides or anything, but I went to try to pass out Christian gospel tracts, and the security guards bullied me out of there and kicked me out of there, And I mean, I even went to Anaheim and, a lot of different places in Los Angeles. I mean, well, Southern California, I would say. But they have been having people to try to suggest that I come to Northern California or for me to go live in San Francisco. And I'm like, nah. But people don't want to see you progress. They don't want to see you thrive. They don't want to see you better yourself. And they put a hindrance to your own independence in this gang stalking program because they feel like you need somebody to control and watch over you and be your handler at all times. And they don't want you to with any freedom or independence or like the gang stalking program. They want to think they got authority higher than God to deny you of free will. The fake Christian narcissistic abusers say that God gave us free will. They say God gave us free will, but then you think you got authority higher than God to try to take that away. You say God gave us free will. Well, okay, God gave us free will, then why you yell at me for talking about trying to get a car with the money that I worked for? Or for me to treat myself to a nice meal with money that I worked for, and you yell at me for that. But when I was homeless on the streets, I didn't even realize that other professed targeted individuals will look down on me with a sour taste in their mouth about me and hate me. But I think my homelessness made more enemies in the so-called TI community. the gang stalkers helped them, by falsely accusing me of being a scammer and a fraud and lying and fake. But they feel threatened by any assistance or support by anybody else, and they feel threatened by any independence that I have, So the big novel that I had to put on hold that I was trying to work on mention and talk. I mean, part of it has to do with like the short story series that I'm working on too. Basically, the fictitious cult of the novel and the short story series. If the members are not allowed to have any other job opportunities outside of Timberwood, if they're not allowed to have any job opportunities outside of them, and they're not allowed to get any support. I mean, even if they try to leave Timberwood, or if they left Timberwood, then they're blacklisted, and all the parameters, like you're not allowed to have a job to work at Kroger if you've been in Timberwood before. So if you dealt with the Timberwood cult and then you try to go get a job at Kroger, then you automatically blacklisted and can't get a job at Kroger, and then you got to be forced home. It's like the gang stalking. So the gang stalking network tried to beat me into submission and wouldn't allow me to have a job or anything, or a car or a place to live. I heard that the gang stalking network it's multiple people try to play one god. And I heard that you can have a bachelor's degree or higher, and they only give you forced low-income part-time jobs, low-wage part-time jobs, and I heard that they approve they will reject you from multiple jobs, but if you finally do get a job, it's a job that they approve of, and then set the stage for the workplace mobbing, and you end up back at square one. I'm tired of going back and forth with the workplace mobbing. So, in 2020, I called myself trying to hire myself as my own boss. And to become a writer. The gang stalkers even shut those videos down of me talking about that. And I can't get those videos back. Those YouTube videos on my other channels, I can't even get those back. So they feel like I'm not allowed to eat a morsel of food. If I eat a morsel of food without being part of them, then that makes me sick, crazy, obsessed, and greedy. And a fat pig. But, but it's like, they'll make it like as if once you join them, then you can be free to have as much food as you want. Like that fake perp hung daddy, I forgot what the numbers were, but he tried to say on me and my twin sister's birthday in 2020, he said, gang stalkers eat cake 365 days a year. Come join us. Like, fuck no. I think he called himself Hung Daddy 1946 or something like that. But if you're targeted, you get the most abuse on your birthday with no rights. Devil worshippers trying to play God but think they got the authority to deny you rights. Personal rights. I mean, you would flip out and spaz out for me buying one roll of paper towels. You got something to say about that too? Oh, you're wasting your money. So Oh, it's just after 6 o'clock in the morning now. 6:02. So yeah. So I don't know what the outcome will be, if I would end up getting the help to go there. I was hoping like I would need help like before, like today is Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Is it Wednesday or Thursday? No, it's Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. So yeah, like if they say that the spots fill up fast, like I would need as much help as possible, like before Monday at least. Like try to gather the any donations and funds to get over there, and maybe, I mean, shucks, if I gotta sleep on the streets, if I gotta go to my storage unit, and if I gotta go to my storage unit and get a sleeping bag and sleep on the streets for a night or two to save a burden for a hotel room, then, shucks, I'll do that. Shucks, I did it before, I had no choice. But, if I would have, get for me to just get down there and get the meetings or whatever, but I would have to be funky and dirty and not be able to take a shower, and then I would have to deal with gang stalking bus drivers, bullying and abusing me and making me too traumatized to ride the bus. But they just make everything so hard for the target. People shouldn't, they shouldn't, make life this hard for another human being. So like with the Timberwood novel that I'm working on in the short story series that I had fun with the short story series, you know what? Well, I'm wondering if I can, because I was trying to make a novel to spread awareness about cults, like a fictional novel about cults. So, like, basically, if people will feel trapped and stuck, the characters in the short story, not the short stories or the long novel, if the characters will feel stuck and feel like they don't have anywhere else to turn to, and if they try their best to not cave in and go back to Timberwood or be abused in that cult again, or if they celebrate, leaving the cult and getting out after the cult will lie to you and deceive you and say once you get in you can't get out and you're in it for life, and then they find out that there is a way out and that they just take matters into their own hands and say fuck Timberwood, get the hell out of Timberwood, So yeah, and I didn't even realize this is like how gang stalking and blacklisting is. I got out of a cult, the fake Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research cult, but like the foster mom had us struggling and living a hard life, while other members of the fake IDMR cult, the religious cult that we were in, they were able to have normal relationships and normal jobs and even run and own businesses and have not be financially struggling in the cult. But me being targeted, what's the point of still being in a cult after you find out that you're targeted? And why would I still be part of the fake IDMR cult when they never did shit for me? Me being homeless, yeah, they would treat me like because they're a whole bunch of black folks now. It's run by, like, it was founded by a man that was, I don't know if he was mixed with black and Native American or if he was just considered a black man, that Henry Clifford Kinley guy. But, I don't know if he was mixed with black and Native American or just a black man, but he was a high level, he was a third degree Scottish Rite Freemason. And he did everything occultic. And he was New Age and, Masonic and metaphysical and all that. That is against the real Bible. And he pretended to be like a substitute for Jesus Christ. They even said that man, Henry Clifford Kinley, was Yahweh manifested in the flesh. But has Henry Clifford Kinley ever resurrected? No, he couldn't even save himself, but he let his blood sacrifice at least 2 of his sons, but healing everybody else. He let his sons die, but he's healing everybody else. The man had, he was like a 6th grade dropout. He was a charlatan, a fucking fraud. But the IDMR cult, they claim that they don't take money from people, but the members, they beat people into submission, and they got mad at people for not paying donations. And it's like, well, I thought a donation was optional, not mandatory. But they would throw tantrums, and at the West Bank location, they would throw tantrums talking about that that they needed donations to keep the building up. And it was like the building would be at risk for, and I think in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin branch, after Hurricane Katrina, I went there and they did the same thing. They couldn't keep a building. So they relied on the members' employment, talking about keeping the building up and keeping the air conditioner running or keeping this up, keeping that up. But, it's like they would get mad and bully people for donations, to keep a lie going on, to keep the cult running, But it's like the other, so the fake IDMR cult is primarily black people. I never saw any people of Asian descent in the cult. But here in America, I never saw any Asian people, but I've seen not even really many Hispanics either. But mainly black people and a couple of white people here and there, or a few white people here and there. But yeah, the fake IDMR cult is mainly black people. And they are part of the sacred name deception, the sacred name movement cult, which is biblical heresy. But their beliefs aren't the same as the Black Hebrew Israelites cult. The fake IDMR cult, they eat pork and shellfish. And, they claim to falsely be part of 144,000 God's chosen elect. And they claim to, they had a whole bunch of failed doomsday predictions. And, the fake IDMR cult, if you do your deep research, Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research, if you do your deep research into this cult, in which they don't want you to question their fake pseudo authority. If you do deep research, in 2011, they shut down all my external hard drive. I didn't realize that was the gang stalking sabotage. When I was researching, they sabotaged my external hard drives, even the backup ones. And And so, like, I had done a lot of research and had saved a lot of information. And the fake IDMR cult, yeah, if you do your deep research, that they got connections and ties to the New World Order. Even including the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult. You know, they used to compare the IDMR to the Jehovah's Witnesses. Excuse me. So the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult, they participate in gang stalking as well. And the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult, they actually called for a new world order. They even have a new world translation for a fake Holy Bible. And they cover up a lot of abuse, just like with the fictitious cult Timberwood cover up, that I'm working on. The novel and short stories that I have been working on. The Timberwood cult, they would cover up a lot of abuse, and a lot of these cults, and with the sex trafficking and cults and MK Ultra mind control. It's like if regular everyday people did this stuff, then there'd be a lot more people in jail or prison. But these cults, they're Masonic, sold out, satanic, protected, and people with positions of power, influence. Look at Hollywood. I heard that Hollywood entertainment industry is a big fucking fat cult. And everybody's sworn to secrecy in exchange for fame, fortune, power, money, authority, and pretend that they can pretend to be a small little fake god for the rest of their lives. Fuck these fake retarded celebrities. But I respect the ones who stood up for the truth and died fighting for their freedom out of the MK Ultra enslavement. What Fred Springmeier said, that the MK Ultra mind control celebrities, that they were thrown from the freedom train, mean to be murdered off. But yeah, these cults are weird. They're weird. And like when you try to talk about cults and stuff, people act uninterested, or they act like they really don't care. But people will be the first to flock to the Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons and wanting to join. I'm like, no. Like, I be trying to warn them, like, no, please, and then they blow me off and look at me like I'm crazy. But then they act like they're super interested in the fake Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, come on, please, like, I'm begging you, like. But the Bible predicts that people will be turning away from the faith and joining these lies and these cults and everything. But and these cults are always a front. They pretend to be good, but it's a front for something else. Like the fake Scientology, they got a whole bunch of front organizations that pretend to be good. But then I heard about the heavy mind control and abuse with Scientology. Scientology and or whatever else, So my time is running up. My storage space is running up on my phone. I probably should have done this in the dark so I could, I didn't realize I was going to have all this much to say in this video, but it's all right, though. I'm glad y'all were able to clearly see my face, So I'm going to get off here. Thanks for listening to me. I'll see y'all later on. Please, I'm trying to get whatever help that I can get to get down there. Get over there, for whatever I need to do. And I'll try to keep y'all updated and keep y'all posted. Thanks in advance for any support. Please share, like, subscribe, and repost, and spread the word. I have the information in the description box of almost all my videos. Love y'all.